Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Dylan D, and today I'm going to be giving everyone a tour of my 1.15.2 survival server before 1.16 officially comes out. And if you want to check out this world for yourself, I encourage you to like this video, because if this video gets 152 likes, I will put a world download for it in the description. I had a blast recording this video. Took a little bit longer than expected, but perfectly captures the survival server in full. I also apologize in advance if you can hear any wind at all in the background. Where I live has had some of the worst wind lately, but let's start up this tour that has literally been about 7 months in the making. And we are going to start off in the Nether, on our way to the Nether Fortress to grab some wither skeletons for their skulls. But like everyone, I'm sure I don't like to waste time. I'm sure I could spend a good minute killing a ton of wither skeletons with my looting 3 sword, but I would rather it just be 100% drop rate from every single one. And honestly, the time spent making a mechanism that will give you that 100% drop rate is much more well spent, and it was going to be a lot less spent time making that versus you obviously going out with that same looting 3 sword and trying to collect them the old-fashioned way. So honestly, I feel like if there's any other way to collect wither skulls or anything like that, this is going to be the best way to do it, because it's not going to take up all of the time in the world. Now, once I've rounded up an entire group of wither skeletons, I'm going to go ahead and lead them all the way back to the machine here. Bringing them up to the machine, obviously the trapdoors are closed. I can open them up, lead them all the way in to where they get trapped, and then I want to close off everything else so nothing else can get mixed up in there with them. On top of that, I'm going to flick all these levers in this crazy different order. I definitely want to make a machine that automates all of this for me. That would definitely be awesome. But once all that is done, I go ahead and name the wither skeletons. Obviously, just in case I want to go out and get more, or if I'm just taking them back one at a time. You can go ahead and actually do up to 3 at a time without the machine breaking, which is pretty nice. But for just the cinematic sake here, I'm just going to be taking one. Once back in the overworld, they're going to try to attack the iron golem, but be met with trapdoors instead, which will put them right down to where I want them. Now, the idea for this next portion of the machine comes from Tango Tech in his season 6 of Hermitcraft, where he was putting wither skeletons next to the charged creepers that he had charged with a channeling trident, and then from there, of course, blowing up the charged creeper for that 100% drop rate. I think the craziest thing about this farm, though, is that if you could keep the flow of the wither skeletons coming, then this farm could yield out up to 1,200 wither skulls an hour. That's about 1 wither skull every 5 seconds. Obviously, again, if you were to keep that flow of wither skeletons coming. Where I get the creepers from, though, is actually in the Mega Creeper Farm underneath the structure in the sky. I name them all just to prevent them from despawning, of course, waiting for a thunderstorm. Now, when I grab the channeling trident, I'm actually aiming for the iron golem. Reason being is because that golem is so close to the creepers that it will charge them, and then I can have the creepers standing in water so we don't lose any. Traveling back into the Nether, we have ilmango's massive gold farm. Obviously, if you haven't built it yet, your time's running out. But a big thing, a lot of problems that people were having is that the pigmen wouldn't stay aggroed to them. If you actually just keep turning around, if your character keeps turning, kind of still trying to make eye contact with as many new pigmen as possible, you actually keep them aggroed for much longer. But still, of course, you can't go completely AFK at this machine. And this is just the first of many ilmango machines that you're about to see in my world, so just be prepared for that, of course, as well. He just has a way with his machines. But we're going to go ahead and get out of the Nether finally. Those are the only 2 massive builds here. Jumping through this portal, we are going to go over to one of my very first builds in the world, the Guardian Farm. I love this Guardian Farm. I love the old school Guardian Farms where you can just hollow out this massive area of water and then, of course, break down the entire monument and then do what you wish for the entire area. I'm well aware that there are much easier ways of doing it that are probably just as efficient. But what I did is I built Iscal's 85's Guardian Farm just because I loved the way that it looked, and I loved being able to watch like the Guardians swim up the tank. Now, coming down this way, once you're done, doing your experience thing and whatnot, you grab a ton of loot on accident, you can put it into that shulker box on the right. Now I've also included a hidden button in this area. Once opened, it's going to reveal an enchanting room. This enchanting room, obviously with your grindstones, an anvil, your ender chest, you can just enchant away with however many levels you get from your guardian farm, while the Velocicus fossils watch your back. I thought that was the most necessary, obviously, given that the entire thing seems to happen in the ribcage of a massive fossil as well. But of course, lastly in this area is just the sorting area, where all of the item drops go. But enough of all this. To the next overworld build, which I warned you should see it coming. It's an ilmango build. It's going to be his drown farm, where it's just a massive river in the sky. It's very tedious, but very easy to build. You just build a big river over a river biome at build height, and then, yeah, work your way down from there. Honestly, one of my favorite builds. Everybody wanted a Trident on the server, so, you know, had to deliver. But with that being said, it looks like we're almost halfway through this video, so I feel it's best that we start heading back to home base. Oh yeah, and real quick, as I was coming back through the portal earlier, my character hits his head so hard on that wooden log beam right there. That's like a concussion. Like, you know what I mean? Goodness. Hits me in the head so hard I lose the top layer of my skin. Alright. It's time to get serious. To the mine. Just kidding, this isn't War of the Machines. Move, cameraman! But this is ilmango's Diamond Miner. It's the manual version, but once I'm done gathering up all of my materials here, I have a fight with my arch nemesis. As I was saying, this is ilmango's manual diamond miner. The reason I didn't build his fully automatic one is because this one was built in the 1.15 pre-releases, and I just got a little impatient, but of course it still is so efficient. Next up, I have the second build ever on the server, which is my slime farm, because obviously slime is one of the most important things when building robots and honestly a ton of different contraptions. But I feed all of the slime back up automatically into my overall storage area, which is separated over 5 different levels. Which actually brings us to the first ever farm that I built on the server, which was an iron farm. This is one of the earlier editions of the 1.15 iron farms, and I actually dropped the golems down into my house so I can listen to them die. I know it sounds dark, but I like the sound. But now to the front of the main base, you'll find a mega shopping area, and of course no server is complete without a knockoff fast food joint, at least somewhere. And of course Mr. Crayfish's bank. If you haven't checked it out already, I definitely encourage you to. Link in the description. I mean, this is the most used thing on my server. I also built a mega booby-trapped maze on the server where the top prize is an elytra. But my favorite shop on the server is Alien. Alien, of course, you need a membership too. 64 diamonds gets you an Alien Pass, and then you get free access to everything inside Alien and discounted prices on everything else around the server. Definitely my favorite thing. That's why you see all those Alien banners everywhere. Everything's associated with it. But at the back of Alien, you will see ilmango's 22 Furnace Experience Farm, and then of course Iskal 85 Super Smelter, which is just underneath the Elytra Shop walkway. Obviously, you know, the cactus and bamboo zero ticking, all that's going away, but you know, while it was available, it definitely worked. Next up on the list, though, we have the Villager Trading Hall, where I'd get all the books, all the redstone that I could possibly need, all the quartz, obviously, for all these crazy builds. I even had an area where I could stay away from, you know, hostile mobs, and it's all centered around Gnembom's villager breeder. It's super, super efficient. There's no villagers in there now, but it definitely works. It even has an on-off switch, which makes them look like they're frozen in time, but you can see the water moving behind them. and in which behind all of that, I have a ilmango's melon and pumpkin farm. This melon and pumpkin farm is super massive, overly efficient, but it feeds underneath the ground all the way into a chest in the villager trading hall, obviously for emerald farming. Next up is my favorite build on the server. I did not build this. This is actually by a friend, Lone Spider 28. He built a massive airship on the server. As far as I was told, this is just a bakery, but I mean, it's a super dope bakery. And yes, before you guys jump in those comments there, I will be making this into a slime block robot. Traveling to the other side of home base, we will find Lil Miss Kenny's dream house built up in survival. I had a hand with helping here, but this build is absolutely gorgeous and probably one of my favorite areas to just visit and look at. But no survival server is complete without an arena where you can come settle your differences as Minecrafters, obviously, so nothing can get in the way of you guys just playing a good game. But in which you can choose between diamond and gold team. Best 3 out of 5 kills wins, and it's all calculated through a scoreboard, in which after you grab your armor, you'll want to reset your spawn point, talk trash to your opponent just because you'll be able to see them, maybe stare at some tropical fish if you feel like. But once ready, go ahead and press the button in the back on the elevator. Once both people have pressed that button, you'll be raised up to the arena floor where you'll be able to wage war. And yes, I do charge a fine if you kill any of my mobs in the arena. Ooh, goodness, we have just been everywhere so far. But before we take the full-on house tour, I just encourage everybody to like this video, of course, just so we can get that world download in the description. And of course, if you find yourself experiencing some joy, I definitely encourage you to subscribe. Alright, before a tour of the house, we're going to completely avoid the Horsemen of the Apocalypse there, which in all honesty scared the living nonsense out of me when it happened. But going into the house, we're going to go right into the tree farm. That's just your standard leaf crusher tree farm that pushes all of the tree logs into a blast chamber. My favorite thing about the tree farm is that it's completely encased in glass. Obviously with the explosions just being barely out of reach of destroying the glass, it just gives it this very beautiful artsy kind of feel. Now the rest of the house doesn't have any farms or anything like that, but it's just very aesthetically pleasing to look at. So we're going to go ahead and go left this time. Coming down the hallway there was the mine, that's how you enter it. But the main room, you're going to actually see a baby grand piano, in which, fun fact, this is actually the piano that I record all of my War of the Machines music on. Yeah. True story. Now, also, my bedroom's going to be on the balcony overlooking that piano, just obviously because it looks very beautiful. Going down the hallway, you're going to see, beyond the iron farm, you'll see another way to go into the storage area. And then you'll also see the map of the server. This is kind of like a think tank area where we go over what to build next. But you can actually walk through that map, get in the elevator, go down to the first floor, or go up to the 3rd floor, which is actually just the ceiling right now. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's video, you guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like to help get the world download in the description. More robots and subscriber-oriented ideas coming up as well, so I definitely encourage you to subscribe. But until that next video, later late.